Welcome to Backstage with Becca with special guest Joey Barreiro. Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of Backstage with Becca. On this episode, this Florida native has toured as both Jack Kelly on the North American tour of Newsies and Calogero on the North American tour of A Bronx Tale. Please welcome Joey Barreiro.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. I am well. Yeah.
You're busy.
What?
You're busy, right? Because grad school.
Yeah, we have things going on.
A lot of things. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy week and busy schedule. I know how busy grad school.
Oh no, it's great. It's great. I saw you did one of these with Dan. And my fiance is currently in a show with him right now at what's it called, at the Fulton. He's doing Smokey Joe's Cafe. I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Wayne can do it. Why not me?
I've had a couple people from Newsies on. I had Jess the other week, just the
He was just in the show with me at 54 Below at the Newsies Union. Yeah.
I mean, well, how did that show go, first of all?
It was awesome.
A huge deal. Sold out in minutes.
It was super awesome. It was great to mix. I've met a lot of the Broadway people, the people who were in the Broadway cast. But it was great to be on stage with them and sing the stuff together. It was wild. It was cool.
It's like worlds colliding, and you all join forces.
We're just one big happy Newsy family. It's great. Yeah.
So, have you always known that you wanted to perform and act and be in the theater world?
Theater came late for me. I was a music person first.
Okay.
I was in chorus for. My sister grew up and she was a singer, and she's 2 years older than me. So it's like the classic younger brother tale. I lived a chorus line. So she was into singing and I got into singing because she was into it. And I played in a couple bands, and my chorus, we did some weird review things where we would do some musical theater songs. And then I got obsessed with Daniel Day-Lewis. My senior year of high school, I got obsessed with him. And so I started wanting to be an actor, and then someone accepted me into their program. So it went, I was lucky. Yeah.
And then things worked out from there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been great so far. Yeah.
What was your first introduction to seeing a show on stage?
That is a good question. Probably, I'll say my first Broadway show that I saw was Rent, which is hilarious. But I saw it when I was 13, 14, 15, around that time. So that was cool. Most of my family, I'm from Miami originally, but I have family that's been in New York forever. So, we came and visited them and we saw it, and it was amazing. As far as seeing other shows, a classic, the tape of Into the Woods. Oh, that was my entryway. I love that stuff.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a good entry.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I know people are so thrilled that they're doing an Into the Woods production right now. Where are they doing it? At New York City Theater. Yeah. So that's a huge, people always want it revived show.
Yeah, it's a staple. And I've done it before. I played Jack in it once, and I'm in Tennessee, and it's such a great show. Rest in peace. But yeah, we did this cool thing in that show where I'm sure it's been done in other places, but where Jack and the harp that he gets from the giant, he has kind of this weird upset, in our version I had this kind of weird obsession. It was a lady who played the harp, this like lady who's like a foot taller than me, and yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, I love that show. It's a great show.
That's kind of a good segue. It might be Into the Woods, the answer to this question, but what has your favorite regional show to be in been?
Favorite regional show. This is gonna sound so lame. But I did Newsies at Sacramento Music Circus, and I can't believe it's Newsies. I'm so sad. I mean, I'm not. It's like the best part of my life. But I did Newsies at Sacramento Music Circus, and I worked with a great director, Michael Heitzman, and some of my old pals from the tour were with me, and it was a blast. And it's in the round, and I think that Newsies really works really well in the round because you have boys flying in and out of like the bombs, and I thought it was really awesome.
Giving them ideas for when it's revived on Broadway, they can put it in the round for when it's revived on Broadway someday. Yeah. I feel like that would really work well.
Yeah.
With the fans of Broadway, like everyone would be like, "Oh, okay." That's new.
It'll get us out of the when we think of Newsies, we just think of like just chorus boys all in front of us. It's as opposed to I think that'd be a good way to reapproach it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? I love asking this question. What do you think makes regional theater so special, as opposed to like I know like Broadway is like the big goal for everyone, but regional theater often gets like overlooked, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, regional theater. There are a lot of great companies. I like that there's a little bit more freedom. There's a little bit, it just feels a little more rootsy. And I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy like people like taking risks with material that may not, it doesn't have like any kind of political like motivation, like people are just doing it because they want to do something cool, and I appreciate that about regional theater.
And there's like that community sense too, and I feel sometimes you have to like learn the show a little faster.
Yeah. Families, theater is all about making families all the time. Like every show that I've done, it's always a new family, and I definitely think in like regional theater, like it's just like, okay, it's like immediate, like these are my brothers and sisters, let's go. And yeah, that's a great quality about it. I did another production of Newsies in Seattle. It was outside of Seattle, but I had to be in this area in this small town, and it was it just feels, people just become your family, and then they're texting them and calling them, and it's great.
Yeah, how cool is it to you? I'm going to get more into Newsies later, but how cool is it to you that there's like still productions of Newsies going on everywhere, really?
Oh yeah. It's wild. It's going. Am I right in saying that it's going to the West End? Like they're opening one in London. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome when these productions use more girls in the productions. The show it's a great show. It's a big part of my childhood. So I'm glad that I could be a part of it as an adult, and then also like watch it grow and become, a lot. I actually, interestingly, so I'm in grad school now, and a lot of my classmates, when they found out that I was in Newsies, they like, people love that show.
Yeah,
people love it. Like kids, like they knew every word of it. I don't know. There's something special about being a part of something like that you don't get with other, being in other shows. So yeah.
It's kind of like it is a timeless show. It has everything, and it's like just so impressive to watch on stage.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So why did you decide to go to grad school? I want the spiel here. And
yes. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news lately, but
yes.
Yeah, we had a break we had a break here in New York and all over the country and all over the world. And a lot of us thought about other things that we could be doing. And I have always been a writer, but I really needed a push. I really needed a big push. I've been too precious with my work a lot of the time, and I just needed to be a part of something that forced me to write all the time. And NYU is the best thing for that. It's been great. And honestly, I don't know. I don't have to choose between writing and performing, but right now writing is pretty sexy.
Would you ever write a musical like for yourself to star in? Is that on the cards?
I wouldn't write it for the express purpose of me being in it. Okay. I would be in it maybe, but I would never write it for myself. No.
Like just like I was gonna say like kind of like a La La Land type scenario. How she I don't know if you've
Can you believe that he played the piano that well?
Oh my gosh. And like it's actually him playing it.
I know. And it's so frustrating. How does he look like that?
And you don't know.
I hate that guy. I hate that guy so much.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't say no to anything. I just wanna, you know, I want someone to put up a production that I make. That's gonna be the first goal, and then we'll see where things go from there.
Hey, that's a great goal. So how have you been balancing like everything with grad school? Because as I said, I know from my sister being in grad school and from her like stressing out every weekend about like finishing on time.
Well, life's been really easy. It's just been, you know, so easy that I decided to also get married too. So I've got nothing but time.
So you're like, okay, just gonna keep myself busy.
Yeah, just keep myself busy. I have nothing to do, no homework, just chilling. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's good for me. It's good for me. I'm a naturally I sit back and things a lot. So it's nice to have something that forces me to not be able to sit back.
I love staying busy. So I completely.
Yeah.
So I want to get into Newsies.
Yeah.
What was your audition process like for Newsies? And you were a fan of, had you seen the Broadway production before you saw the movie?
I hadn't seen the Broadway production. I was a fan of the movie.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, in middle school, my sister and her friends in their chorus, they decided to do a number from the movie. And so it was all girls except for me, and they had me be Kid Blink in the movie. Like that character in the movie was like a kid. Who is actually, you know, the Jack Kelly name, but they just gave it to a little boy. So that's what I did. So yeah, I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I didn't know the musical, but when I auditioned, I was actually working. Was I music directing that show? I was working in the Adirondacks, and I'm getting my years mixed up, but I might have been music directing this show. No, this was before that. I was doing a show up in the Adirondacks, and I had this lovely lady, Polly, drive me down to the city. Or she drove me down to Rochester and then to Albany, and then I flew down to the city. Had my audition for Jeff Calhoun. He was there, and it was kind of amazing. It just kind of happened very fast, and it doesn't always happen fast. Like I didn't go through like a ton of rounds. It was like two rounds, and that was it. So
was there a dance round for you or no?
This Jack Kelly is not one of the dancing Jack Kellys.
Yeah.
No one wanted to see me dance. So
you're like, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. There were no dance calls. It was just singing and, you know, crying. And they liked the way I sang and cried. So.
But I mean, I feel like to an extent, Jack still does some dancing in the show.
Yeah. He does stuff, but they put me in the back of a lot of those numbers. I think I don't know why they trust. I mean, I guess they just trusted me. I think they mostly trusted their team because Christopher Gattelli is amazing. But I worked mostly with his associate Lou, and if anyone can inspire you to dance, Lou can. He's like a little fireball of a man, and so I think they just trusted themselves that they'd be able to make any schmuck like me be able to move his body.
So how long did it take you to like learn the choreography? Because like even if you're like kind of in the back for the dances, it's still hard choreography. It's
right.
Not easy.
Right. It took a while. It was not a one day kind of thing. I don't know. We were in New York. We had rehearsals in New York while the tour was. So we were the second year of the tour. So it was actually really interesting. Stephen, we had our Davy, our Catherine, and two little boys who played Les, and Meta Larkin. And that core group, we were rehearsing in New York while the rest of them were on tour. So it was cool. We had a little family here, and then we joined the big family. And we were just in Ripley Greer in New York, which is like the rehearsal studio, and worked our butts off. And Lou and I had some private sessions because I needed them.
I mean, wait, this is bad. I can't remember right now. Do you dance on newspapers too?
Yeah. I danced on newspapers. I did do that. But again, I was in the back row. So, I did. You know what? I did it.
You did it.
I did it. I'm not gonna crap on myself all day. I did it.
Yeah. That's an accomplishment because I was so flat on my face.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's an accomplishment. I mean, I was out of breath most of the time, but yeah. It was cool. Yeah. It was the best view in the house to watch the other boys expertly do it.
Wow, I hope I'm doing it as good as them.
Yeah, sometimes I just get distracted by watching them. I forget,
I mean,
or at least that would be my excuse.
It's insane. It's insane, that choreography. So, I mean, obviously it takes a lot of stamina to do the dances, and you're singing. It like Jack Kelly is a very vocally demanding role, I feel like.
Bagels. I ate a lot of bagels.
Wait, how does that help?
Energy.
Okay.
I needed to really carbo load. And it helped a lot. I mean, I don't know if it helped vocally in any kind of way, but it just helped me be able to keep up with the young boys who were, running circles around me.
How vocally did you manage to like keep your voice healthy while singing 8 times a week? And I
just went out every night. I don't know. I just did it. I didn't have a routine. I mean, that was my first time doing Newsies. And since I've figured out what needs to happen in order for me to do it. But while I was on tour, I was just kind of figuring it out. And some nights were better than others. I thought I was pretty consistent though. I think what helped me growing up as a singer was that I never had good technique ever. So I did a lot of screaming, and all that screaming just like built up like a lot of just like muscle on top.
Your vocal cords are like, okay, great.
Yeah, we can take that. We can take the abuse. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like muscle memory.
Exactly.
Yeah, a good way to build that muscle memory.
Yeah.
I'm sure some vocal coach somewhere is like,
no, that is horrible. Don't nobody take that advice. That is not what you should do. That's not the right way.
Yes. So what is your favorite song in Newsies? Because there's a lot of good ones.
My favorite song in Newsies is Once and For All. I love that song. The lyrics in it, if you go back and read it, they're amazing. yeah, I'm at NYU for lyric writing, so I really appreciate it now, but I appreciated it then. They're really beautiful lyrics, and also that moment in the show is so amazing. Like when all the boys are on top of these like giant towers and just like looking out to the, it's a really impressive moment and really expertly cultivated. So yeah, that's all.
How stable were those towers?
Very stable.
Okay, because there's a lot of people like standing on them, and they're high.
yeah, but they were really sturdy. They would beat us up a little bit, honestly. They're because they're metal towers, and we had these like, in order to get through them, we had these gates. They were like magnetized gates that would open and close, and so we could leave them open if like in this part of the show people were running through, and then we closed them so that when the towers move, they would have like a rail for people to be supported by. And there was definitely a moment where it was after Something to Believe In, right before Once and For All, where I had to run from my little moment with Catherine. I had to run, and the gate was supposed to be open, but it was closed. And I ran full speed into the gate, and you see my legs like flying like up over me. I had to pretend like I wasn't wheezing as I was speaking.
You're like, I'm good. It's all good. Nothing happened.
I'm good.
Nothing happened. Don't know
what theater. Saw. I love this. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure. So, how did you make the role of Jack Kelly your own in the show?
I benefited from the fact because had I watched, I would have been too intimidated. So I just benefited from the fact that I just didn't see the show, and I tried not to listen to the recording at all at the time.
That's hard to do, I feel like.
Yeah. So I tried not to like hear what Jeremy was doing on the recording or anything. And also our show what was lucky was that our show was set in New York while they were on tour again, as I said. So I didn't get to see Dan until I was already doing what I was doing. So I tried not to copy anybody. But then as you go in the show, you learn that some beats just work the way they work, and there's no reason to fix something that's not broken, you know? So yeah, that's how.
And then obviously I feel like elements of like yourself are probably like brought in to the character as you play the character.
Right.
Some elements of yourself.
Right. It was more instinctual because I wasn't trying to like get to an end product. Yeah. They saw what I did and they liked it, so I just kept doing that, whatever that was.
What do you think makes Newsies a fan favorite show still?
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons. I think it was originally popular because everyone loved that movie and it was a huge part of everyone's childhood. But I mean, come on, I knew this when I was in this show, and I was happy about it. Nobody's coming to see me. Like, the boys were incredible. We had one boy on tour, Jordan Samuels, who was also in the Newsies thing that we just had. He just flipped his butt. I mean, he just, I don't know how he did that. And he did it. He was so nonchalant about it. Also, like, if you like touched him, like, he was so solid. Like, it was painful to touch him. He was so like rock hard. I don't know. That's kind of weird to say, but yeah, he's I don't know. I was just in awe the whole time. I was just happy to be there, just like go for the ride. I think it's the dancing. That's why people love the show, because it's just amazing. And of course, you know, the songs. I mean, Alan Menken. You can even hear like hear his sound in a lot of the songs. I hear Aladdin, I hear everything. It's like, it's nostalgia, it's everything. Yeah, it's a good show. That's why people like it.
True. And when you hear an Alan Menken song, yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I know who that's by. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even if like someone maybe doesn't know who he is as well as your average musical theater fan, like you still kind of know that this is by the person who writes all the good Disney songs.
Right.
So what was your fondest memory of taking a popular show like Newsies on tour to North American audiences who maybe couldn't get to Broadway to see the show?
Well, I mean, these people loved it so much. It was, I mean, people really wanted to see this show all over the country. And I'm sure you've heard multiple times the word fansies being used. The fansies were crazy and it was amazing. They loved the show so much, and like being able to take it to them and get them the opportunity to see the show that they've been obsessing over, and being a small part of making memories in people's lives. I mean, that's huge. That's huge. And it was a different, I did a Bronx Tale a couple years later, and it was a different experience, even though just as satisfying. Actually, there's a lot of similarity because they were both based on movies that were popular movies, but obviously a very different audience. And just for Newsies, being able to like, I mean, you have children and like little girls and like being able to like make their night, and it was super special.
I mean, and yeah, there's a lot of I actually wrote down like on my question list that there are a lot of similarities between A Bronx Tale and Newsies. I feel like, even though it is a very different show when when you compare the two, like when you go about comparing the two and like how the stories end up.
Well, my secret is that I'm a horrible actor unless I have a New York accent. That's the only time I can only act with New York accents. Outside of that,
I don't believe that.
Terrible.
I don't believe that at all. I think you need to give yourself more credit.
Okay, good job. Yeah.
So, speaking of Bronx Tale, I think I did get to see you in a Bronx Tale tour in like 2018, December 2018.
That sounds about right.
Or something. But I think I got to see you in it. And I wanted to ask, how do you think your characters in Newsies versus Bronx Tale are similar, and how do you think they're different?
They're both angsty young men who are also in love. I think they're both sincere, but I think Jack was more obsessed with projecting an image of himself, whereas Calogero didn't really know anything but who he was. You know what I mean? Like he just was this way. He wasn't trying to pretend to be anything that he wasn't, except for the fact that he was trying to get involved with the mob. But aside from that, I just think that that's how he and his friends grew up. And I think Jack also, I think Jack has had a lot more pain and trauma that he was dealing with and covering up. Whereas Calogero has less of that and is just trying to figure out how to be a good person.
Yes. Yeah. What made you want to audition for A Bronx Tale, and what do you think, I mean, you mentioned Alan Menken songs. What do you think makes musicals with Alan Menken songs something that attracts you to them?
Well, I just want to be him. So yeah, they're all good. They're all good songs. He knows what he's doing melodically. He writes, I don't know. I mean, he's Alan Menken. I just happened to be the same guy. I mean, look, I'm from Florida, so yeah, I'm a big Disney head. Like before we had this interview, I was in like Disney pajama, like Mickey pajama pants. I mean, I'm not like a weird Disney person though, you know, like weird Disney people. I'm not one of those people. But oh my God, if my fiance sees this, she's gonna hate that I said that. But
Did she like Disney?
What?
Does she like Disney too?
It's hard not to like Disney, right. But I feel like when you're with someone who likes it a lot more than you, you know, you start to resent it a little bit. Really? So I think she's definitely pro Disney, maybe less pro Joey loving Disney this much. But yeah, what were we even talking about?
I was asking what attracts you to musicals that Alan Menken writes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I grew up a Disney kid, and if my whole career is associated with Alan Menken, I will be very happy. You know, he's a hero, so brilliant, and I want to write for cartoons too, and I want to do all that. So not exclusively, but it's something that I want to do for sure. So I don't know.
So Alan Menken, if you need anyone to help you out,
I'm here.
Hey.
I played Jack. I played Calogero. We know each other. Yeah.
Wait, have you ever met him?
Yeah, I've met him a couple times, but I mean, I don't expect him to know who I am because he's Alan Menken. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like maybe he personally, maybe not.
Yeah, doesn't even matter. I just live in his glow.
Yes. I mean, I'm glad you're an Alan Menken fan because I feel like no one. My mom's like, who? And I'm like, he writes all the good Disney songs. Like, come on.
He's the guy. Yeah.
He's the guy. So in A Bronx Tale, I'm very bad at pronouncing the name.
Calogero. Got it. Nailed it.
Is shown as a young kid at first. How do you think him being not his upbringing being shown on stage and not only written into the script affected how you played the role?
It's another one of these things where I'm just again watching people who are crazy talented and in awe. I mean, the little boys who played the like I don't know how you get to be a part of this business so young. Like how did you get it? How did you get here? And why are you so good? Yeah, we had this kid Frankie Leone, and he was a killer singer. And like he was cool. He was way cooler than me. Like I didn't know what to do because he's like doing all these dance moves, and I'm like, man, I'm just like embarrassing myself here. But he was great. And then we had this other boy. We had two other boys who were just fantastic. Brig Lieberman, who was in the Trevor musical, and he's so great. And this kid Shane, he was like this little blonde boy who they had to like dye his hair, and he was tiny, but he was so talented. He was such a great actor. It was amazing. Yeah, so I think it was really cool to watch Calogero grow up and to watch. I got to watch, Richard Blake sing every night with a little boy, which was a joy. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yes. Did it, depending on who was playing young Calogero, did your character change at all? Did the character change at all for you?
Maybe if I was a better actor, he would have. But no, I don't think I would change for the boys. But because I didn't have scene work with the boys really. Like anytime we were on stage, they were like next to me, facing out. So no.
And you're probably backstage.
I couldn't possibly have. What was that?
You're probably backstage getting ready too while they're on.
Yeah, for the most part. But I didn't have the ability when Frankie was on to like become a better dancer. So I just had to let it be.
I mean, if the tour was happening now, he would probably teach you TikTok dances.
They were teaching us TikTok dances.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was already happening then.
It was already happening.
Not to me. I locked myself in my dressing room so no one would try to teach me one of those dances. But no.
They would come banging on your door if it was happening now and be like, you have to come learn one of these dances.
They would. Yep. Yeah. Brig. He was the main culprit. He was the TikTok king. Yeah.
Calling him out. Calling him out. So, what was your favorite song in Bronx Tale?
Oh, another bunch of hits.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question.
Had you watched the movie?
I loved him. Well, have I watched
Bronx Tale before, or no?
Oh, the movie, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love all of those movies. Those like old Italian, awesome New York movies. I think in a world like this, it's to use a word that the kids use. It's a bop. Is that passe now? Should I not say bop?
No, I still see that thrown around.
Great, it's a bop.
Yeah.
In a world like this, it's so groovy. And again, it shows like the music is nothing like what Alan Menken has really done, and yet it kills. Yeah, that song is dope. The harmonies in the background are so rich, and yeah, I love that show.
Yeah. So you've had a lot of touring experience and a lot of traveling around North America. Do you have a favorite city that you've been to?
I do.
Which city is it and why?
I love New Orleans.
Ooh, okay.
I love New Orleans.
Nice.
Okay, now if the question is geared to what my favorite city to tour in is, that's a little bit different. But my favorite city in the country is New Orleans. So when I did tour there, I had a great time. I love jazz, and I love beignets.
I was gonna say, does it have anything to do with beignets?
It has everything to do with beignets. Honestly, everything. A little cafe au lait, a little beignet. Also, again, I mean, Cajun food is not again. I never said it, but Cajun food is my favorite cuisine. So it's New Orleans has a special spot in my heart. And when I was on tour with the Bronx Tale, we had a layover for a week, and my fiance and I went to New Orleans and had the time of our lives. So I love that city.
Every day.
Oh yeah.
Does I know Miami's a bit far from Orlando, but does Disney World have like that restaurant with the Mickey Mouse beignets?
I'm not sure because I know I'm not sure. I love New Orleans Square in Disneyland.
Yeah, Disneyland has it.
And I think Disneyland. I don't think I had a beignet in Disney World, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a place to get them.
Yeah,
it's a world. They have everything.
I just knew that Disneyland has them because every time I go to Disneyland with my mom, she's like, we have to stop and get the Mickey Mouse beignets.
Oh yeah, that's everything. We have New Orleans Square in Disneyland, and I think it's like Liberty Square in Disney World. Oh my god. My fiance is crying right now.
Hey, Disney is great.
Yeah.
Disney's great. So I mean, there's worse things to love. So
right.
I think
I'm so surprised my cat hasn't started yelling at us.
I'm just glad that my sister's dog upstairs hasn't started howling at anything in the window because oh my gosh, he sounds like an alarm when he howls.
Oh no.
So I want to ask, before I get to the last couple of questions, I want to ask, is there any fun fact about tour life that people would be surprised to know?
No one would be surprised, but it's a lot of fun. That's a horrible fun fact. Tour life. What's weird about tour life? Hotels are great, but people know that. Airbnbs are even better. Yeah. it's just it's amazing. Travel days, I don't know if people think about this when they think of people being on tour, but travel days can be tough. Jumping from buses and planes, like it's not fun, and frequently people get left behind. Like people
Really?
miss the bus, and they don't get like left behind forever, but they miss the bus, miss the plane. So that happens a lot to everyone's chagrin. Yeah, that's not really fun, but I encourage everyone to tour because it's the best. I would be on tour right now if I could.
Do you learn like when to unpack your suitcase in the city and when to just like leave it packed?
Yeah. I mean, that just depends on how long you're staying. If you have like 3 weeks or 2 weeks, you'll probably fully unpack. But yeah. I know some people love to just like do the whole ritual of getting to their hotel room, put everything in the closet and everything. I wasn't one of those people.
Yeah.
I like living out of my suitcase, probably because I'm lazy, but yeah.
I mean, if it's like a small New York Times Square hotel, then I'll unpack.
Right.
Because like that's the only way.
There's no room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way you'll fit in anything anywhere and be able to walk. So
yeah.
So what's on your current theater bucket list?
Current theater bucket list.
And to go along with that, what's your dream role?
I'm a Sondheim boy, so anything Sondheim is up for grabs here. Theater bucket list. George, Son of the Park with George. Bobby from Company. Anyone in Assassins. I love that musical so much. I mean, if it's Sondheim, I'm there. I'm there for it. For both my bucket list. That's it.
It's impossible to not like Sondheim musicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's God.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Kind of like Alan Menken.
Yeah.
On different sort of musical spectrums.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love words. And I love. You can't not sound like kind of an ass when you say I love wordplay. But I love wordplay. And I love puzzles, kind of like Sondheim. So that like his like brain stuff plus like Alan Menken's like heart stuff. It's like a beautiful combo.
Yeah, and you're a writer, so you appreciate that stuff. Like you have, and you analyze it.
Right.
So I mean, I feel like analyzing lyrics and songs is not something everyone does and can really like dive into and appreciate.
Right.
So
only the really boring people.
No, only the cool people.
There you go. Thank you for that.
How do you work on self-confidence in this industry?
I advise against it. I think having an ego is huge, but nobody wants to work with you. So it's like you have to like simultaneously have like, it's like, I don't know if you're familiar with like basketball or any sports, but like all of those guys, they think that they're the best basketball player in the world because you have to. But differently there, like I think you can get away with it more in sports by like, you can be a tough personality to work with a little bit. In the theater, there's so many people who can do what you do, so humility is huge. So I do advise against people who what am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying like it's better to be self-deprecatory and humble than to try to bolster your confidence. Just care about the work and it'll be there,
Yeah, and also
Also, I just said the work like an ass. But the work. Yeah.
I mean, I was also going to say also because I feel like performers are so tough on themselves. Just like, don't beat yourself up.
Oh yeah. That's absolutely true. True.
Because you all are you all are the toughest on yourself. If one thing goes wrong, then it's like the end of the world for you guys, even if the audience doesn't even know.
Oh yeah. And they mostly don't.
They don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't know. So don't beat yourself up.
That's great advice. That's better advice. Everyone take that advice. Ignore what I said.
No. I mean, I think what you said, you had a great point there.
Yeah.
So before I get to the last question, where can people follow you on social media to keep up with what you're doing?
They can't. I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an Instagram account, but it's not very exciting or professional. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. I'll work on it. I need to make a website or something. I have lots of friends who are very good at that. My fiance is very good at that. I get it.
Ooh.
I'll work on it.
She'll help you out then.
Yeah. She can help me out.
She can help you out building like a website and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So lastly, do you have anything, whether it's theater related or not, you'd want to promote?
Goodwill. Oh, there goes my cat.
Oh.
Luna. Loons.
Oh.
I promote Luna, the cat. A beautiful tortie. I just learned today that people call tortoiseshell cats torties. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
It's a great name. I'm going to call her Tortie from now on. Yeah, I have nothing to promote. Just, be happy. Do what you love.
Hey.
Have hobbies.
That's a good thing to promote, especially during this time.
Yeah.
It's a weird time still.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for, again, taking time out of your busy schedule and joining.
Thanks for inviting me.
I've
had a great time. You have a lovely living room back there. Or is that like a den? What's going on?
We call it the media room.
The media room.
We remodeled it like 10-ish years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And just like put everything, like my sisters and I all have desks in here.
How's the couch? Comfortable?
The couch is very comfortable and it's lasted a while.
Okay.
I don't know where it's from.
And is that tree behind you, is that real?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so because no one ever waters it, so it'd be dead if it was real.
That's good reasoning skills right there.
Good reasoning skills.
Yeah.
Very good reasoning skills.
Well, I've had a great time. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you for joining and for all your insight, and I love talking about your career.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Backstage with Becca B. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV. Or for more exclusive content from this interview and more, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Backstage with Becca B. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video, or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give me a 5-star rating. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!